This is Joseph Lucia, our weekly Tongren session. Welcome. Please put in your recommendations for individual treatments. Let me check our comments here. Sandra Gamble, we have your request. And our first request here is Happy Mama. And we will begin right away. Our 3-part process. Number 1, blood flow to the brain. We'll work on perfect blood and lymph. Command points of the brain. Command points of the brain stem, and that's to work right away for Farris, for blood pressure. Blood pressure 190, let's work on that. Also work on the occipital arteries, blood flow, so we work on blood flow and nerve flow. And for cataracts, if people saw the book The Cataract Cure, people also use eye bright. And eye bright with cayenne pepper, but always discuss that with your herbalist. And we will continue with the blood, perfect blood, which is the bones and T1 and the bone marrow. C3 for the eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, make sure you get plenty of zinc. TV17 for blood pressure. For beet juice, beet juice powder is good. You can also work on breath work, which enhances vasodilation by increasing nitric oxide, by nasal breathing. Breath holds and nasal breathing. Nope, nothing complicated. Breath work through the nose, nitric oxide generation, which is a vasodilator. Continue to work on perfect blood, T1. spleen, which helps for detoxification of the liver and emulsifying fats by generating bile in the spleen. Kim, nice to see you. You're welcome. Happy to tap for everyone. So for Sandra, I would definitely check out the Cataract Cure and the product. I think it's called Can-C. Anti-inflammation, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And T5 also for the heart, for Ferris. Anti-inflammation for the rheumatoid arthritis. As for inflammation, number 1, focus on the diet. 80% carbs, 10 to 20% protein, 10 to 20% fats, healthy fats. Number 2, eliminate acidic foods such as inflammatory foods, omega-6 junk foods, animal fats. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for immune system, for protection from others. T7 for the spleen, bile, liver, bile ducts, detoxification, and fat emulsification. T7 left side. Yeah, nobody can see my hands. That's not helpful for all my students. There we go. Rheumatoid arthritis, so let's work on the joints. Brachial plexus for the arms, lumbosacral plexus for the legs. So working on T1 again for the bones and bone marrow, for platelets. Perfect blood, and the bone marrow. So different things you can do for the lymph. One is rebounding. Another one is skin brushing. Another one is an herb called poke root from pokeweed. Another one is castor oil packs for lymph enhancement. The inflammation, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Liver for detoxification. yes, Drew, good to hear from you. So something you can do immediately to lower blood pressure: cayenne pepper under the tongue. It's also a cure for heart attacks. That's one thing you can do. And the other one is breathing exercise, the 4-6-6 breath, which will activate the relaxation response and the vagus nerve. That will also be a relaxation response for the vagus nerve and to reduce blood pressure. Try the 4-6-6 breath. Try the cayenne pepper under the tongue, on the tongue. Keep checking your blood pressure. We'll continue to work on it. GV17 for the blood pressure, and T7, T5 for the heart and pericardium, especially pericardium, which manages the pumping of the heart. And hello, Marie. For anti-inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis. And then we'll do some more work for macular degeneration. So really focus on zinc and quercetin. And cataracts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, anti-inflammation. Work on the blood flow to the eyes, carotid artery, facial artery, and then the eyes for macular degeneration. And I spoke to somebody who gave me some advice for edema. Specifically, I would take medicinal clay and rub it on the legs, then do a poultice for the liver and the spleen, or put clay on the area where the edema is, and then on the liver and the spleen for detoxing, because the water can't circulate. So that was a recommendation from a very good source. So Faris, if you do even a simple breathing technique, breathe in through the nose, count to 4, breathe out, count to 8. That will add more carbon dioxide, release more oxygen. Nasal breathing will release nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. Let me know how that goes. So those are some good options for you, Faris. And we will work really hard at GV17. Everyone, for Faris, high blood pressure. Was this triggered by some kind of stress event? And hello, Catherine. Yes, it seems Instagram has issues with the sound coming in and out. Not sure really why. So for Dorothy, macular degeneration. For Catherine, macular degeneration. And for the edema. And that worked. That is a method that has worked with people. Clay poultice on the liver, spleen area. Ideally leave it overnight. And then also clay over the areas of the edema to accelerate and unblock lymph detoxification and simple bodily drainage. And grounding. Continue with the bones. T1, GB39, perfect blood, GB789, craniosacral fluid, sphenoid bone, T1, bone shoe, tailbone 1, 2, 3, and 4. And hello, Maria. So for post-nasal drip, the best, quickest thing in the world is something called Sinu Oregano, which is saline oregano solution for the nasal. As soon as you do it, all the sinuses are clean. It's great preventative for COVID, is any COVID or infection, because they start in the nose. The best way to lose weight is to have a nutrient-dense food regimen. The body holds on to and surrounds toxins, fats, and other things. So it's actually retaining fat, even if you eat less. The only way to do it is to eat, it's basically in starvation mode. The only way to do it is if you can eat nutrient-dense foods and detox, 2 parts. Let me know how you're doing, Ferris. So again, macular degeneration. Let's work on the eyes for Catherine and Dorothy. And thank you for the update for us, Augustina. I hope she's doing better. Macular degeneration for the eyes. Don't forget your zinc and quercetin. And we did the bones and bone marrow, T1 and sphenoid bone and tailbone for platelets. Work on the headache point, GB20 at the base of the skull. blood flow, nerve flow, activate the entire spine. And the cataracts, consult an herbalist. But eye bright drops and cayenne pepper. But if you're going to put that in your eye, you definitely got to consult an herbalist with experience with that. So grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. And let's continue on. Post-nasal drip. 2 options, like I say. One is sino-oregano, clean the sinuses with something like a neti pot and sinus. And saline solution with oregano. Or a steam tent with oregano or lavender or echinacea. Make a big bowl with hot boiling water. Put a tent over it. Put a few drops of essential oils and inhale it all the way into the lungs. It's antimicrobial. Works great. And better memory, GB13, left side, right side, and T1. And for Drew, left eye, medulla, cold temperature, and daughter is dizzy. So let's work on blood flow to the brain for Drew. And Lane Nelson Morris for Gerard Retzer. Metastases for the kidney, chemo side effects, and hemorrhoids. One of the best things for hemorrhoids is aloe vera gel or Super Salve from Dr. Morse. Cellular botanicals, he calls it. Command points to the brain. Command points to the brain stem. And let's work on C3 for the sinuses. There you go, Esther. I didn't see you on text. Masterpiece maker. Tried many of the things that I recommended, the magnesium chloride oil, castor oil, so for the Drew, for daughter Dizzy, GB17. Vertebral artery, spinal artery, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for pain, for Esther. Ouch point again for the eyes, cataracts. Dry right eye, wet left eye. C3 for Dorothy. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for pain. And next we'll work with Augustina. How's the blood pressure doing, Ferris? Any improvements? T7, left side. Brachial plexus of the shoulders, lumbosacral plexus of the waist. Try to release the increased pain for Esther. I can send you some Esther aloe vera gel. We can try that. Not sure if you've tried that yet. Lumbar 1 to 5. And we will work for Lane Nelson Morris next as well for metastases. And Fran, esophageal cancer. But before that, we work with the bladder and TBIs for Esther. Same areas for brain and brain stem area for Augustina. Main blood flow areas: carotid artery, sky window, vertebral artery, tendon point, occipital artery along the occiput, right at the base of the skull there. Not on the skull, but under the skull. Anti-inflammation T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Again for Masterpiece Maker. TBI, GB13, left side, right side. Okay. My voice sounds especially soothing tonight. wish, let's see, I had a nice fudge brownie, not a magic brownie. That would make it even more soothing, but I don't know. Good space. Spent 2 hours talking to the clay guy, the clay master. Maybe that was it. Okay. So we need to solve this problem. Esther, have you ever tried infrared light therapy? Let's work on next. Lane Nelson Morris for the metastases. There are specific things you can do that are anti-metastases. Number 1 is Dr. Rath, micronutrients. Number 2, Dr. Yoshimitsu with infrared light therapies. So those are 2 things. Chemo side effects. If you're not taking chemo now, the best thing for side effects is clay and sea vegetables. Hemorrhoids. Aloe vera gel, medicinal grade aloe vera gel. If you put in your email address or you want to do it privately, send me your email address. I can give you more specifics on these specific things, which are time-tested, science-supported. Most everything that I mentioned, I've done myself. So, vertebral artery to spinal artery, blood flow and nerve flow. And before I forget, happy holidays. We are in the midst of Hanukkah and we are coming up on Christmas. Woohoo! So the question is, where do you get infrared light therapy? This would also be good for you as well, Marie. There are many, many suppliers, only a few that really are good. There are different suppliers. It depends upon the size and the application. What I use personally, I use a biomat. As you know, the biomat I use in my clinic office, Marie, that's one option, which are great. They increase microcirculation, which means they increase detoxification. Another kind is a small portable infrared platform, a better one from a company called Platinum. I don't know why it's called Platinum, but they have bigger ones, which are the best frequencies. Infrared light therapy, I really believe is something people should use on a regular basis. Infrared light, clay, micronutrients, superfoods, good hydration, herbs. Those are the things for long-term health and success. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. So esophageal cancer and metastases prevention, which is using oxygen, and for the cancer, Instagram may pop out for a moment. I'm getting a call. Somebody named Obama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, but especially for metastases, the oxygen protocol for everyone with cancer, phrenic nerve, phrenic nerve of the sky window down to CV17, the oxygen therapy. Something you can also do with breathing. Is Instagram working? It seems to be flashing now, which is what it does. It freaks out if I get a phone call. Well, I'm going to continue on if you can hear me. Let me know, you guys, on Instagram, because I'm going to work with Augustina next as well. That is basically 3 main blood supplies for the brain and the brain stem. Carotid artery, vertebral artery and occipital artery. So, is Instagram working? Let me know, folks. Seems to have stabilized. Yes. Maybe somebody was leaving me a voice message. Nope, starting to flash again. That means I have to get out and come back. But I don't want to miss anybody. So we'll continue to work. Yep, that's annoying. So if you were on Instagram before, we get bumped out. Apologize for that. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. T8 for esophageal cancer, Fran. We do the oxygen protocols for all cancer. T8 for esophageal cancer. L2. For the kidneys. T7 for the blood flow and S1 to S5 for the hemorrhoids. YB glum. Okay, we are back on Instagram. We get kicked off. Maybe we were being attacked by Twitter. So all cancers. Cancer is a trigger from hypoxia and oxygen deficiency. So our goal, our job is to create more opportunities for oxygen, which is either through things like beet juice, increasing vasodilation, and increasing oxygen through oxygen cleansing therapies that we do, and activating oxygen, promoting parts of the body such as the phrenic nerve and the diaphragm. T8 for esophageal cancer for Fran, and T7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for lower back pain related to the esophageal cancer. And we will get next to Patty, pain in right shoulder. You're welcome, Sandra. We covered your cataracts, rheumatoid arthritis. Continue to breathe deeply and listen to our work. Kim Childs, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Immune system for everyone, including cancer, inflammation, pain, and for you, immune boosting Kim Childs. And for Patty, pain in right shoulder, again, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for all of you. As well as endometrial and peritoneal cancer. But let's work directly in order for Patty. Pain in right shoulder, T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Brachial plexus, and then really put your mind in the right shoulder point. Help me out. GB20. GB21, shoulder release point, ouch point, brachial plexus, and the ouch point. Seems we lost a lot of people on Instagram, but I will continue. Yep, we're not frozen. Nope. Good. High blood pressure, again, GV17. Recommendations are beet powder or beet juice. Breathing exercises with longer exhales. High blood sugar, which means you must lower your fat intake to 10 to 20% of your diet because high sugar is insulin resistance. Deep sleep. Anxiety, C2, GB13. So we have coming up in about 3 weeks our colon cleanse, which is suited especially for constipation and detoxification. For autism, I heard just today good feedback from someone. They did detox, heavy metal detox with clay 3 times a week, and there are other things you can do as well, but definitely detox from the heavy metals or light metals that are roaming around the body from the environment. And blood flow to the brain for autism. So there are teas for constipation as well, Smooth Move and Senna. There is ozonated magnesium oxide, which floods the body with oxygen and releases and melts mucoid plaque for constipation. Guaranteed to work. Our 7-day, basically, colon cleanse program will ensure long-term success for constipation. And then, of course, you have to look at the diet. And hello, Tracy and Michael. But T11, T12, L4, L5 for the constipation directly. The microbiome for depression, because fermented foods and a good gut can help with depression as well. So we're working T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Chemo side effects, COVID side effects, brain fog, blood flow to the brain. There's a great product called Brain On, which is basically blue-green algae to help increase oxygenation. Breath work, breath training for longer exhales and resistance breathing would be really good for brain fog. Of course, with COVID and the vaccine and vaccine shedding, the key is to work on the spike glycoproteins elimination because they create systemic inflammation. There are certain teas, if you call greens genes. As for the triple blend, that's a specific herbal remedy recommended by my herbal teacher for removing spike proteins. Of course, number one is pine needle tea, white birch pine needle tea. And if you need a place to get that, I still have my source. Yes. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. The endometrial area. And the peritoneal area for Chris to open the blockage L1 to L5. And we will also work on sleep. So blood flow to the brain, we have Javis, Magnificent Citizen, hot flashes, post shingles and hypertension. Blood flow to the brain and the endocrine system for hormones and sleep, GV20 and 22. Hot flashes, GV20. Unknown anxiety, which is definitely adrenal or hormone related. If you also have toxicity and possible constipation, that can also exacerbate anxiety and the happy hormones, which should be making us happy instead of anxious. GB13. Toxicities for sure. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Post shingles pain. So T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Muscle loss. Right kidney tumor, L1, L2. So two-part process, nerve flow and oxygen flow. L2 for the kidneys, and then phrenic nerve and CV17 for the oxygen flow and the diaphragm. Constipation, the best ways to do that is through, we use a 7-day process for constipation coming up in January 14 it begins. In the meantime, there are herbal teas, uterine fibroids, castor oil packs on the Pyrus patch area for sure. Also, that will help to balance out the hormones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And glaucoma, GV17, which is in the exact same place as poor circulation. So GV17 and GV17 for Magnificent Citizen as well. And GV17 also for Daniel for hypertension. Diabetes, must reduce your diet intake to 10%. Make sure all your fats are healthy fats. Faris, take a deep breath in, count to 4 through the nose. Exhale through the nose, count to 6. Hold your breath, count to 10, and relax. Hypertension, GV17, L2 for the kidney disease. For the eyes, C3, T5 for the heart, CV17 for the heart as well. And of course the pancreas for the diabetes. And T11, T12, L4, L5 for inflammation for the diabetes, kidney disease, post-shingles disease. And for facial swelling, I would definitely do a clay pack. And then also work on the diet to eliminate inflammatory junk food, fried foods. Take a month, go plant-based, clay baths, clay face masks as well. Poor detox, poor circulation. If you feel, Faris, that you may have an issue, definitely take some cayenne pepper under the tongue. If, for example, anybody, not you, Faris, but anybody feels they may have a heart attack, they put cayenne pepper under the tongue. It helps for heart attacks and strokes. It brings circulation to the extremities. It will also help with your blood pressure, hopefully, as well. Try that. So detox for a few people. T4 for the skin. T7 for the spleen. So the lymph. Happy Mama, which we did. T3 for the lymph. T7 for the lymph. Detox. And then L3, T3 for the lungs, and C3 for the sinuses from smoke. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for the mold and chemical exposures. So is there anybody on Instagram? So I rebooted Instagram. Hopefully, Carmen, Maria, that will be working now. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 chemical exposure. You need to detox because you're saturated full of chemicals. So you need to remove those chemicals, allowing hydration of the cells. Clay baths for you, Pondering Traveler, for detoxification, lung issues, mold issues, chemical exposures, and to help fix your right foot, which we will work on right now. T1 for the bones, ouch point, right foot for the bones. Yep, seems my website is the clearest. IG is still working. Woohoo! It goes back and forth. I got a call, and that kicks out Instagram. I guess I need a better phone. So for edema, foot soaks or clay slurries, clay mud on the edema area, and then a pack on the liver and the spleen. And we'll do some more on the brainstem for Maria, for Augustina. So Faris, any coffee or any chemical exposure Another thing you can try to do is bend forward and with this part of your wrist, massage the area of the kidneys and the adrenals to slow down. Definitely work on the vagus nerve to counteract the fight or flight response that's going on right at this moment. And we will do that right now, GB12 for you. Make sure you have some cayenne pepper around. And welcome, Scott. Pine needle tea, one of the best things for removing spike proteins in the body. I can mention it, but you can email me as well. HealingSpiritsHerbFarm.com. And let's work on that ouch point of the right foot that's broken again. Definitely clay poultice on the foot would be critical. Longer exhales and inhales, Ferris, breathing through the nose. Just continue to do that. Relax. Put your mind in your feet, in the bottom of your feet. Clay slurries. What is a clay slurry? Basically, you get in the shower, you get all wet, and then put a layer of clay on you and leave it on for a few minutes. If you really have the opportunity, just leave it on for even an hour or two or overnight. Just cover yourself in a bathrobe. But a clay slurry, a good 2-part process. Clay slurry, so you get wet, add a thick amount of clay to the whole area, especially for you, for your liver and your spleen, and leave it on for a few minutes, and then followed by a full clay bath to complete the process of detoxification. Very effective. So let's finish up. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points for everyone. Brain stem command points for everyone. And I will be here next week. I will be away in February, looks like February 26th to March 4. But that's a while away. Anti-inflammation for everyone, T123478. Detox, skin, T4. Spleen, T7. T8, pancreas. T9, liver. L2 for the kidneys. For everyone, detox. Everyone needs detox. T123478, immune boost for everyone. And then the vagus nerve for Ferris and others, the relaxation response. How are you doing, Ferris? And grounding to liver 3. Kidney 1. So there are 3 main ways to do clay. Clay is a poultice, which oftentimes you leave overnight. A slurry, which is you leave on just for like a few minutes. And then clay bath or soak, which is also very good. So Eric, good to see you. We're just finishing up. If you have a request, we can still include it. What part of the world are you in, Eric? Are you on Eastern time? Napa, is that California? Three hours earlier. Cali. Yep. I lived in Monterey for about a year. Taking a deep breath, and Ferris, focus your mind on your lower dantian, CV4. Put your laser on CV4 as well. And we will do a coherent energy, quantum energy, synchronizing cosmic signal. Is everybody ready? Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for showing up, Eric, Sandra, Catherine, Kim. Happy holidays, Maria. We got everything covered. Let me know how she's doing, Maria. Hopefully she's recovering. I think I sent you an email with some recommendations, which are vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, quercetin, steam inhalations of lavender, echinacea or oregano, and nasal sinus, different things for COVID as well as any infection or flu. Thanks very much. Have a great day, everyone. Blessings to you all. Happy Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Love to you all. Thank you.